the Corolla.
Is that what you have?
Yeah, I got it up here, but I'm not gonna use it as much because of how close I am. So I'm just gonna be like walking.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be prime. Yeah, it's a nice spot though.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I started recording, by the way. So we're like 30 seconds in here. Oh, Seabass has got the casuals going. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any pints here.
Oh, I do. You know, I'll grab one just for you, Seabass.
This should be like a tradition.
Yeah. I mean, if I'd had a couple drinks right now, it'd be a bit better tradition, to be honest. But yeah, I think I left a couple at Jack, so maybe you have.
Yeah, there's some Budweisers in there. Those are probably yours, eh?
I had some.
Oh, Rick's best.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right, well, let's get right into this. Good evening, everyone. This is episode 2 of Northern Fantasy Football Cast. I'm Sebastian. This is Jack. This is Adam. We got the whole gang here. And it was a eventful week in fantasy football. I myself picked up 2 wins, it looks like, unless Dak, Amari Cooper, and Gallup die, but I don't think that's going to happen. Jack, you went what, 0-2, 1-1?
Yeah, 0-2 this week in our leagues, unfortunately.
Okay. And then Adam, you went what, 1-1?
Yeah, I went 1-1. Unless Gallup and Cooper somehow put together like 60 points between the two of them, but can't see that happening, honestly. So.
Well,
yeah, Tyler's team went off against me. Actually, he's
on the rise.
Yeah, he had a late surge. I was trying to get some of his guys before him pre-game too, and I don't know. He got some good help out of Mike Evans.
That's something we got to talk about after the emergence of Mike Evans.
Oh yeah, waking up again.
But anyways, we got some games to catch up on. We actually have one tonight still to play. My team against the Giants.
Sir.
Where do you guys want to start here? Do you guys want to start fantasy? Some real football, like your takeaways for the week? What do you want to start?
We can do the takeaways, honestly.
I'm saying takeaways as well.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Say what we think, and then go from there. I think Sebastian, you can probably take it away for tonight's game. That's for sure. Lead us off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really. I mean, the Cowboys are playing, but I'm pretty confident they're gonna win. I don't really know. I just don't feel excited for this game, to be honest. Like, as long as they don't get bombed, then I'll be fine. I'll probably just have them in the background tonight, but I'll see how the team plays. I know Robert Quinn needs 1 sack to get $2 million or something, so I'll be rooting for him. But other than that, like, there wasn't really any big time games. I know last night it was a bit of an upset, I guess. The Ravens pulling it off.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game.
Ravens do look for real. Lamar looks good. Everyone looks good. And it'll be see how, I guess, like the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Pats kind of duel it out in the AFC, because I don't really see any other team fighting for that spot. But other than that, like, I don't know what else to talk about for Week 9. Like, Eagles won. They beat the tough Bears. So.
Wait, so before we jump into the Eagles, are you worried that this might be a bit of a trap game for the Cowboys?
It could be.
Because they do have a bit of an iffy pass against the Giants recently.
Yeah, and I mean, Barkley's back. They have a new quarterback this time. It's away, but I'm pretty sure like the last 5 times they've beaten the Giants, so I don't feel too worried about it. I feel like it'll be an easy win, to be honest.
Have they won the last 5 games?
But
yeah, they're almost as good as the Jets, maybe. I don't know. You can't lose to those guys either. That other New York team.
Oh my God!
We'll see.
That felt like so long ago, but so like it was only 2 weeks ago. So who knows?
Yeah, well, that was decimated. Amari Cooper, he was playing. Gallup was out then. I don't know. I think it'll be a little bit different tonight. I agree. I think Cowboys will win it, but I could see it getting close. I think spread 6.5 for the Giants.
I mean,
some nice points there. I think the Giants will come out to play today for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Adam, your Eagles, they survived this week, so you take it away from here.
Some of them. Deshaun Jackson played 4 snaps. He said he tore his abdomen, something in his abdomen, right off the bone. So he's getting surgery. Who knows? Maybe he'll be back at the end of the season if there's a little something to be playing for then. So yeah, I don't know. It's not looking good. Hopefully they can pick up a receiver here. I don't know. They're gonna have to sign someone. I think probably like Jordan Matthews will come back or.
Wait, I thought you still on the team.
No, he played for the Niners and then he got cut coming into the season, so he's just free agent right now.
Oh yeah, he'll find his way back on the Eagles for sure.
I'm sure. Was it third time around? Yeah, I don't know. They need speed though, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't make more of an effort to like get some players at the deadline. Like I thought with Roseman, who's like generally a pretty aggressive GM, that he would he'd try to like fill some of the holes they have there. Because I mean, like at corner, at wide receiver, you know, I feel like just like one of those upgrades could get them over that line.
That would do a lot.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, some other good games I guess we can go over. Colts and Steelers. I don't know if you call that a good game. Brissett go out and get Hoyer came in. He was serviceable, but I guess Brissett will be back next week. They say.
Yeah, it's not as bad as they thought, and thank God. I like Brissett. He's a good guy. He's he stepped up this year, and you know I don't want him to lose a leg or anything. So
yeah, he's definitely doing good.
That's probably preferable to not lose a leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphins upset the Jets, so we don't need to say anything about that. Chiefs beat the Vikings. I mean, Andy Reid, he can win. He's proven that, I guess.
He knows how to win with a backup.
Yeah, he can back up 4 straight years winning with a backup quarterback, at least a game.
Yep.
Playing with Alex Smith in general as a backup quarterback. So.
Yeah, the perennial backup, so.
Seahawks, Buccaneers, that was a good game too.
Yeah, that was a very good game. Russell Wilson, he's balling out.
Yep.
He's looking like the MVP. Him and Lamar right now, I think.
I'd give it to Wilson right now, but
he
Lamar,
should be clear cut.
Yeah, but
coming into the season, I don't think Seahawks. No one thought of them as who they are.
No,
especially on offense, and then. With that bad defense, they prove they can put up 40 points if they need to win a game. So
exactly. Jack, your team had a good time this week. You talk about the Packers here.
Yeah, that was a tough game. Like any winning season that the Packers have had, they always have like those hiccup bad games where they just look awful. But like yesterday was something new. Like I think through 3 quarters. It was the first time in Rodgers' career he had under 100 yards in a game. So that was like a historically bad game for him. So yeah, they looked terrible in all facets. Like they got off to a slow start with like some holding penalties, some false starts and stuff like that, which never helps. But even on the drives that didn't happen, they played terrible, just straight up. Defense gave up big plays too. So it was a mess. So they'll just have to regroup and come back and play better against Carolina and good old Kyle Allen.
Yeah, no trouble in paradise there with Fleur. Or no,
I don't think so. It's one loss. I mean, our only other loss was against the Eagles, which was a close game and a fair team. This one was just kind of like I don't know, an outlier, I'd say.
Yeah, with 6-1 coming into the game or 5-1 or whatever, like I mean, one loss right now, it's not abysmal, and it's kind of good to get them like they realize they can't breeze by these teams like they have been putting up like 30 points on offense. So
why are the Chargers so bad every year? Like
injuries, they always hurt
every year.
They die. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, they're gonna make it to the AFC Championship, and then they start 0-5, and then it's like, oh, okay.
When you have Phillip Rivers, I don't think he's gonna win you games per se. I think it's kind of he can get you by. I wouldn't say he's like I don't know, definitely no gunslinger there for sure.
Well, he's got 15 kids, so he's got his hands full.
He does, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'll
Anyways,
have another one after that game.
yeah. Anyways, Jack, I know you had a couple things on the agenda. You want to lash out at a couple people, so how will we get into that? We'll just share our mid-season takes, is what you call them. So I'll let you start them off.
Yeah, like I really wanted to go into kind of like our mid-season thoughts, just sort of because we missed last week, and I wanted to go over it then. But I mean, no mid-season story is bigger than how bad the Browns have sucked, and it's embarrassing. Like I've watched pretty much every game that they've played, and it just gets worse and worse. And Freddie Kitchens, I personally just feel that he is a terrible coach. I do not see good things in what he's doing at all. The way he runs that offense is just like, awful. Like, and you guys know it too, just from there's so much talk since yesterday about that call to not have Nick Chubb out on 4th and 1. Like, why?
It's not only that, but like Hilliard's playing 40% of the snaps right now for whatever reason.
Yeah,
and
it's Kareem Hunt.
Chubb is like top 3 rushing in the league right now. I don't understand what's going on there.
No.
That makes no sense. That's like McCarthy, like in my opinion.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense to me, but
I think all these coaches now, they just see the Sean Payton's running two running backs, and I'm like, wow, I need to somehow get this into my game, even though like you wouldn't need to. And Nick Chubb's a guy that like he's more physical than Alvin Kamara, right? He can take the hits, he can go between the tackles, he can break it out, and I don't know if they just don't think he's that great in pass pro or protection or pass catching. I'm not too sure, but I think he's serviceable to say the least. I wouldn't be pulling him out of the game.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And Baker just
in that situation too, where they need that win to kind of bounce back to get some momentum into the second half of the year, and that's their decision. I don't know, man. That's insane to me. That's insane to me.
Get your best players on the field.
Exactly, yeah. But they've been definitely a big disappointment this year. I know a lot of people thought they could make the playoffs. And like everything went right. Like they had everything lined up. Roethlisberger was out. Ravens, like everyone probably knew they were gonna be a good team, but Bengals are the Bengals. So it was just Browns and Ravens, and yet it's the same old Browns this year for whatever reason. It's really unfortunate, but it's like it's pretty sad to watch.
Just
like,
unfortunate.
It is.
It's really unfortunate.
There's a point you just want them to win, and they just
I know. I know. Anyways, what other takes you had, Jack?
So I guess like to lead into that, or to I guess carry on from that, I really think they should have kept Greg Williams at the end of last year. So he did very well in like with his like the team he had last year, like as an interim coach after Hugh Jackson just did whatever he did with that team.
Yeah. Hugh Jackson's awesome, man. What are you talking about?
I'm saying that they looked much better with Greg Williams, and his offensive play calling was much better, and even that, like from a defensive-minded coach compared to Kitchens, who's offensive-minded, he still coached better, and I think it was just a mistake to get Kitchens on, and now they're going to be stuck with him for probably another year as well.
Where's Greg Williams?
Yeah.
What's that, sorry?
Where's Greg Williams now?
I think he's a defense coordinator for Miami, isn't he?
Oh dear God!
He runs that he runs where like everyone's not actually in a formation. They kind of just walk around, right? That's him. That's his like D thing, right? I forget what they call it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it's called either.
That's a perfect fit, man. That's a perfect.
They run that. I think it's Miami. I don't know. I hear bad things about him as a guy, like targeting and stuff like that. But I don't think he was the answer, and I know Freddie Kitchens isn't the answer. So I think at this point, with all that skill on the team, they just need someone that can just, I don't know. They need an O-line, honestly. It's not, I don't know if the coach can really fix that unless you're like Sean Payton. But
on paper, it was a good O-line, which is another surprising thing. So like because they made some free agent acquisitions. I think they brought in Zeitler, I believe that's his name. So like he was like a great guard for Cincy, and then it's just not come through in like any facet of the game for them. Like the wide receivers look bad. I mean, Nick Chubb is probably the one highlight. But besides that, I mean, there really just isn't much. But let's move on from the Browns.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Sebastian, why don't you give me one of your takes for this week?
Well, I was gonna save this for last week, but someone had to move at the last second. But it hasn't changed because one of my takes was how the Redskins are still a joke. The big thing is the whole Trent Williams fiasco. How he sat out and then he came back, and then when he came back, they didn't even trade him. They just they didn't do anything with him. And he's like one of the best tackles in the league, and they're not going to get rid of him. He wants to leave. You can probably get a decent return, and now he's out for the year. So I don't know what's going on there.
No.
And I mean, I have McLaurin on my team, so I'm kind of upset with that because he's a good player, and yet, like, I just wish this is weird for me to say, but I wish like they would be better.
God.
But
yeah.
Like,
as a Cowboys fan saying that says a lot, I think.
The other thing I had was how like the whole challenging pass interference calls, it's not working out. And I think it's so stupid how whenever someone challenges it, the majority of the time is usually it won't get overturned. I don't think has it been overturned once?
I don't believe so, no.
I thought there was one either this week or last week, and they said that was like the rare one, but I don't remember what game it was. I saw it on Red Zone when I was watching.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah.
And then that's like another thing. I knew that was a big thing in the off season, how like people would use that to their advantage, but that's obviously not the case.
No.
And then the final thing is, I don't know if it's me, but like this football season hasn't been as exciting as previous ones for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because of the primetime games. How even last night's game was good, but Ravens were up the whole time. And like I know next week we have Seahawks and Niners, but to wait until week 10 to get a decent primetime game, like it doesn't help the league at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just my other thing. I mean, like I'll always watch football, but I don't know, for some reason this season that hasn't been like one of the more memorable ones, I'll say.
Yeah, I don't know for me if it's like coming into the season there were just so many different storylines that were built up to be so much.
Yeah.
And then really how many of them have came to fruition early. Like there's not much to say. The Browns are supposed to be this offensive elite. Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham Jr. can't catch a ball. So
yeah.
I don't know. It might just be like a letdown of all of those storylines. I know for me in the Eagles, I had like Deshaun Jackson was going to come in and help him spread the ball out, but he goes away and he's down now out till probably like week 16. So, yeah, I think it's just a culmination of all that. It's just a lot of disappointment, but there's still a lot of football ahead, that's for sure. So,
yeah,
see what happens.
But did you have any? Well, I guess you talked about the Eagles just now, but did you have any takes for the midseason point or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just now, you're kind of getting to know, like even before now, you don't know who teams are. You haven't seen the Patriots defense play like a good QB or something. I think now it's a good time to just look in and see what teams are doing. You kind of get a real feel for the team and which teams could make the contention for a Super Bowl and who's just imposters, so to say.
Yeah. Let's see what else you guys had on here. I mean, I see something how AP is still lead at 34. Who decided to write that up?
That was your boy.
Okay.
Man, he's playing fantastic. Like even for a Redskins team that is just so underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy's still churning out 20 carries, putting up high yards per carry, getting into the end zone. He's effective around the goal line still. And is 34 years old. Think of all the stuff he's been through in his career, like, you know, all the drama with yeah. And
we'll cut that part out. We'll cut that part.
Yeah. Keep it rolling.
So yeah, he's still looking good, and I kind of wish he was on a better team now because I think he'd be producing even more. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I love the way he's played. It's the year of like the old running back.
Yeah, Gore and Hyde and who else? I'm probably missing someone else.
Yeah, like I can't believe Hyde is like playing this well with Houston. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, well, as someone who drafted Duke Johnson in the 7th round, I'm really liking Carlos Hyde's usage. I'll tell you that. But anyways, we got 2 more notes here that caught my attention. We got Minshew or Foles rest of the season. What do you guys think about that?
So I think, like for me personally, especially after watching the London game yesterday, I think Gardner's time is probably up. He's played very well, so like you can't discredit him for that. But I think at a point where they could really still make a push in the AFC, I think you got to go to Foles. It just makes too much sense, especially after a 4 turnover game in a divisional matchup. I think it's got to be Foles.
Adam, what about you?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. Honestly, I think Foles, out of the 2, Minshew, he offers like the ability to escape the pocket quicker, and he's much better like on his feet than Foles is. But just seeing like he's not as seasoned as Foles is. I think Foles will come in, and I think like the way Fournette's running the ball right now, I think that's going to really help the way Foles can play here. You can kind of take a lot of the pressure off of his shoulders and just have him make the throws that he wants to, and like the ones he can make, and he can pretty much make any throw. So if you're not asking him to go out and shred apart the defense, he can definitely make that Jaguars team. I think he can help them win definitely a few games.
Yeah, and the Jaguars, they're only 2 games out, aren't they? 1 or 2 games out?
I think they're
okay. Yeah, so it's still the season's still within sight. We got, should Trubisky be sat? I think I don't see any reason why he shouldn't, put it that way. I mean,
Chase Daniels, anything like.
What?
Yeah, I shouldn't have even put on the doc like should he be sat. I think it should have just been Trubisky should get sat.
Yeah.
Like he threw 100 yards yesterday against the Eagles. Like, come on, that right there should tell you everything you need to know.
Just watching that game yesterday, I turned it on. He made like 2 throws on like nothing that like a high school guy could make, and like he doesn't offer you anything. He doesn't put zip on the ball. I think he ran for like a couple first downs here and there, but like you might as well let him do that. If the ball's in his hands, it's not in anyone else's hands, and that's definitely what you want with him. He can't. I think I saw a thread on Twitter, him throwing the ball like across his body to the left, and for the left, he cannot make a single pass like that. It's actually kind of comedic, and just for him to go above like Deshaun Watson and Mahomes, like I don't think you can keep him for that reason. So honestly, I think you must bench him for whoever. Get Cam Newton after the season. Trade for Nick Foles. Trade for Gardner Minshew.
Trade deadline's gone. Trade deadline's gone.
Yeah.
But
next season. I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Done. Yeah. I don't think Bears are anything this season.
There's nothing that he's doing right now that any other quarterback couldn't do.
Exactly. Lose games.
Poor David Montgomery, really.
Yeah.
So I guess the transition from Trubisky, I also put, is Kirk Cousins good? So what do you guys think about that?
No.
I don't know, man. Like, did he have I don't even watch the game. Did he have a good game yesterday? I know Thielen got hurt, but
I think he got 3 touchdowns, 300-something yards. Olabisi Johnson, I think, caught 2 touchdowns.
Did he actually?
Yeah, Diggs didn't do a single thing in that game, but
not a thing. Yeah, even Laquan Treadwell was getting catches, and Diggs couldn't. Like when Treadwell's getting catches, like it's getting rough.
I mean, like, put it this way: if his contract's up in 2 years, Cousins, 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I could see them taking a quarterback just to get like. He's fine to keep you in the game, but like I don't see him as a guy who can lead you anywhere, honestly.
No, for sure.
And that's what I see too. Is he's good statistically, but I always trust the eye test, which is literally just watching him play against teams, and he doesn't look comfortable out there a lot of games. And in important games, that's when he usually does not show up. And, he gets the good statistical performances against, some kind of weaker defenses sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's serviceable. Like, he's starter caliber, but, like, he's not an elite quarterback, and I don't think the Vikings really have that chance with him there.
Zach, is Jameis Winston serviceable and startable in your opinion? Because you have that on here as well.
Oh, stirring it.
You wanted to talk about Bruce Arians, so we'll get into that as well.
Yeah. Winston, that's a tough one because he throws so many interceptions that it's just hard to watch sometimes. But then he has like those monster games where he's able to just look like he's worthy of that first overall pick selection. But man, I think a lot of it is due to the great wide receivers he has. When Mike Evans isn't out there, like his passer rating goes down. So I think he could get away with drafting another quarterback instead of Winston. But I mean, he's kind of a guy that you're sort of stuck with.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead
again.
Go ahead. Okay. I was gonna say, who are the quarterbacks that are projected high in the draft here? Like Tua,
Jake Fromm, and who was the other
guy
one?
in LSU? Burrow?
Yeah, Burrow. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you better start losing games quick. Whoever wants them. That's all I know. But I mean, like probably Dolphins, Bengals are probably gonna get one. Who else sucks this year? Like, I mean, Buccaneers they can easily get.
The Jets, I don't think they'll go for one.
Yeah, the Bengals and the Dolphins are the only two teams I see like probably taking quarterbacks in the first round. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jake Fromm's supposed to go in the first round, but he'll probably be like a later pick. So I don't know. Maybe a team that could use him in the future. Like I was even thinking like maybe the Patriots take a chance on Fromm.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see because I don't know where he's gonna land on in terms of the draft, and I don't know like what teams are gonna be there when that happens.
Well, the Eagles can always use one, so who knows?
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we start the Dak versus Wentz argument right now, or?
I don't even know if there's an argument, to be honest.
In what way? In what way is that even possible?
I don't know. I mean, like, I want to hear your thoughts on Wentz this year.
I think that
because like I'll be honest, but like they're 5-4. They don't have a good receiving core, and he's keeping in it. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, there's the two of the losses actually on game-winning drives. Like he delivered 2 balls that would have been touchdowns. One of them to Aguilar, who was gone on a streak, and he just straight up dropped it right in the breadbasket, gone. And the other one, I think it was Dallas Goedert, and the end of the end zone, just kind of one of those ones hit him right in the forehead, and he dropped those. I think if those 2 catches went his way, sitting at 7-2, I don't think we'd be having these conversations. But I think they need some help, like for speed. I don't think he's missing a different aspect of his game, just by airing the ball out on like a blown coverage or something. He just never has that, right?
What if like bringing Antonio Brown? Do you think they would?
I would love that. I'd love to see Antonio Brown.
He's trying to complete his degree, so I don't know if he's.
Yeah, actually, someone said that he just said he didn't want to play for the Eagles. I don't know if there's something like that. Someone said on Twitter, but I don't know him on Twitter if that's just a crackhead or him running the account. But
yeah, you never know on that app.
Yeah.
Right. Well, to move forward to the second half of the year, someone here listed a couple players that they're looking forward to watching in the second half. Whoever that was, I want to hear your thoughts on N'Keal Harry. That's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah. So I've added a couple of guys on your teams as well because I know you guys will have some like better analysis than I might. But I put I think it's N'Keal Harry because with Josh Gordon now being gone, and Harry finally being able to get in there after being on injured reserve for the start of the year, I think it's a good opportunity for him to do some damage with Brady, and I think he'll be a player to watch for sure. He's going to get lots of snaps, lots of targets. It's Brady always likes his young targets as well. So I think it's a player definitely on the rise. He didn't have a great game last night, but yeah, you'll be seeing him score a lot in the future.
Yeah, definitely, especially on that offense, they kind of need someone to be able to step in and do that X role where they just have been lacking, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
He's definitely this year, if not this year, next year for sure. He's going to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Just going to make plays here and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got some former Dolphins and current Dolphins on this list too. We got Kenyon Drake, Ryan Tannehill, and Devontae Parker.
Yes,
Who would have
sir.
figured that?
I know, that's crazy.
Drake,
I think is especially surprising. I wasn't thinking he would play that well in his first game with the Cardinals, but I mean, once you're put onto the Dolphins, you're probably limited in terms of how much output you're going to have every game. Yeah. So it's nice to see him doing well. And Adam, I think you have him. Is that right?
Yeah, honestly, he's one of those guys that I think I have him in the sell high category right now, but he's one of those guys right now, like he did have his probably the best game he will have as a Cardinal if they don't take him back in this offseason. But I think right now he's just kind of just legs in the backfield. Like you've seen David Johnson be elite this year with them. You've seen Chase Edmonds be elite with them. And you see Kenyon Drake. And honestly, maybe not to – I think Edmonds might be the best runner in that entire backfield. So I think it's just murky waters there. They're all – extremely redundant talents. They all are amazing pass catchers, good on the ground, like maybe not the same builds with all of them, but they offer the same skill set, which is pretty much a complete skill set. So I think for fantasy wise, it's going to be hard to decide who you're going to start. And I think more often than not, if you did have the three, you'd be sitting with the guy that blows up on the bench.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm curious to see what happens with David Johnson after the year. Like he'll be what, 28?
Yeah.
They have Edmonds. They could just re-sign Drake for cheaper. I don't want to say this is the end, but I'm curious to see if they'll trade him, just release him, or what will happen. Like he's been injured a couple times now in his career.
Yeah.
And it's starting to get crowded in the backfield, like you said. So it's something I wouldn't touch. Like the whole situation, I wouldn't even go there, to be honest.
Yeah, if you don't have to, definitely avoid that, I think is a good point. I remember when his breakout game, I think, was against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago, just Adrian, or it was a Marshawn Lynch type run, just shaking people off. That was, yeah, that's when I knew he was just kind of one of those beast runners, right? But yeah, like you said, the age and the injury history.
Why isn't Noah Fant on this list?
Oh, you know what? That's a good point.
He has,
didn't think to add him.
He's had more.
Yeah, you can talk about Fant if you want.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I saw these guys here and I didn't see Noah Fant, but I looked today and he has just as many targets the past 2 games as Sutton. He hasn't really done much this year, I'll tell you that for free. Yeah. But with a new quarterback, why not? Could he be a top 12 tight end the rest of the way? Sure.
Oh yeah.
Would I break the bank for him? Probably not for now. But I'll see how that plays out. But I'm excited to see how he does as well.
Yeah, I think once Sanders got traded, he's been a top 6 tight end. So I think top 10 the rest of the way that's definitely something. And with these tight ends, like having someone like him, just that freak athlete, better situation than a lot of the guys.
Yeah, and it would be nice to get some consistency if Brandon Allen is able to sustain like the way he played yesterday. I know it was against the Browns, but we'll see how he does going forward.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Devin Singletary? He had a breakout game yesterday.
I really like Singletary. I think he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I do too.
Really nice dual threat. He's probably going to have to still split some time for a while because he won't have that like pass blocking ability.
He almost had the full snap share last game. I think they didn't have Gore in for many snaps.
No, Gore played a lot. Like Gore had like a ton of goal line carries and
Gore had like 11 carries.
Yeah, he didn't play very well at all though. He had like 15 yards total, I think, on all that.
Yeah, I like Singletary, but like you said, Gore's still gonna get his carries in, even near the goal line, like on short yardage situations. I feel like Josh Allen, they just might run it with him, so that could take away a couple touchdowns here and there. But if Singletary is a guy for the future, I really like him and the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, he has a lot of value in PPR, especially, which is what we play. So I think he'll be a really nice guy for the future, especially. So
yeah, rest of the season back, if they can give him that whole snap share, he can definitely do it. That Bills offense, they're almost clicking. They're just, I don't know, there's something's off with them right now, but they're definitely talented. They're definitely talented.
Yeah, and they have so many easy matchups too, left to go. Yeah. I think they have the easiest schedule in the NFL, in my opinion. So they should be able to coast, and Singletary should be able to just dominate.
Yeah, I don't think they play late season games are a little bit, but the next few games are just beautiful for them. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
All right. Well, how are we doing on time here? We're approaching 40 minutes.
Yeah. How much we got? I guess we could. The last thing we have to do is, I guess, our picks for week 10.
Should we do that now, or should we do another show?
No, I actually haven't made my picks for. I don't even know the spreads yet, honestly.
Yeah, should we?
Okay. Okay, we won't worry about that.
No, I think we have football on here now. Actually, I think it's about time for that.
Yeah, are we doing another? We'll do another show.
I'd be down to do another one. Maybe I'll grab some beers for the next one, and we can do something like that.
Yeah, and Jack and we got to recap our UFC fights. We'll do that too if you want.
Yeah.
Adam, if you want to jump on that one too, you can. I mean, you saw them also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely be in there. You guys can teach me the gambling aspect. We'll just road to being a millionaire off UFC gambling. We'll see some of that.
Well, I wouldn't be doing very well since I went 2-4 with my picks this weekend. So.
Oh, did you?
Little sneak peek.
The only ones I got were Wonder Boy and Lewis, and I don't even think Lewis actually won that fight.
I don't think Lewis actually won that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think me and Jack are just gonna start betting on their walk-up music, and whoever has the better one gets the money, right? So.
Yeah, we were saying when Kevin Lee was walking out, was it Follow God or no? It was Use This Gospel by Kanye West, and we're like, okay, now Kevin Lee's winning. I got to change my pick.
Yeah, man, he had a good fight, and the Rock was there. How'd you? I didn't even know he was. I thought it was a whole a lie that he'd be there, but he showed up.
No, he was there. He was there for the weigh-ins and everything, the press conference. So I was like, okay, it's actually happening.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that actually.
Yeah.
That's kind of cringy though when he's handing the belts to some real assassins in the ring. There, he's just Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This big boulders comes in, movie star, actor, WWE, all that. I don't know.
Well,
we'll see. Didn't love that too much, but
we'll save all that for another show. Any final thoughts before I head off and watch my Cowboys? Or
yeah, I can't wait to see the Giants win tonight. See you next week.
Danny Dimes, baby.
Well, let's not jinx anything here.